No, I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah.
How long until we can change the name?
3 weeks, 4 days. I
From
looked at it
now? From
today.
Damn.
Yeah.
And we agreed to change it to Young Hot Young Handsome Men, right?
We did. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me start sending out the links. We'll start officially. Let's just do some banter for these 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just keep talking and someone like gauge what our audio sounds like. I
If
can
you
maybe do
that.
it.
I'm gonna send the link out.
And I can just adjust the levels.
What was that?
That
That was just a noise. That wasn't even a themed noise.
No, that was a note. That's the.
No, that was a melancholy sheep.
That was a melancholy.
No. That's the noise that happens on the.
That was a
thing.
slightly irritated goat.
Sam's absolutely right about that one.
No, right? We
should have like a timer on screen until like until we.
It's
until
not that
we
long.
start.
It's a little. It's like shorter than you think. What's up, Javi?
Next time we should have a timer on screen for how long we're doing, like just pre-show banter.
Absolutely not. Let's see if I can set that up right now.
Can you? How long do you have? 4 minutes.
Nope. Oh yes, I remember.
What are you gonna do?
Is anyone checking our audio to see that we're all on the same like level?
We're all good.
We're all good.
Let me double check.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
The thing is, one thing about checking your audio is that your mustache covers your lips, so I can't always tell if your lips are in sync with your audio.
Okay. Hello. There, I snap. I'll clap.
Sam.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
How difficult would it be for you to turn on your camera on Discord?
It might fuck some shit up.
No.
It might fuck some shit up.
Let's just not worry about it.
It might fuck some shit up. Not gonna lie.
Okay. That's okay. I understand.
Okay. So.
We got like 3 minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes of banter. God damn. Oh, I gotta have this open.
Dude, I have like 70 tabs open on Chrome right now.
Hell yeah. How's everyone's day been, by the way? I don't think I got around to asking that.
Nice. It's been nice.
Mine's actually been super rewarding. I had a long talk with my personal
Lame.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. I understand. Who wants to hear about personal finance and how to build a better future?
Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
Not here.
Literally nobody.
What do you think I am? We're unemployed.
We're all unemployed, man.
Technically,
except for Sam, who's got an
Uber.
who's got an Uber Eats job.
And you, I have one shift a week.
Hey, let's go.
So technically, I'm the only unemployed one.
Those are get a job.
So anyways, I had a really rewarding conversation with my personal finance professor about like investments in real estate and stuff like that, and what I should be looking into for building a portfolio.
Nice.
That's pretty hype.
Yeah, if you guys ever want like the basics or the info on all that sort of stuff and what you should be looking into to build that sort of portfolio, like I would be happy to help. I'm getting super passionate about this sort of stuff.
Maybe.
All right. That's cool.
I mean, if I had money to make a personal finance program out of, I'd totally ask for your help, but I don't have money, so problem solved.
Then my first my first piece of advice would be to save, and maybe make money, but
maybe.
Yeah,
It's an idea.
All right, it's an idea.
You don't have to do it.
Throwing it out there.
Throwing it out and it's not going to land. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm the worst at spending money. But anyways, it's about 7:30. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome to the Unemployed Wisdom Podcast. It will officially be called the Young Hot Young Handsome Men podcast in what'd you say? 3 weeks?
3
and a day?
weeks and
3 weeks,
4
4
days.
3 weeks and 4 days
That's
when
right.
Twitch decides to stop being a prick. Sorry, Twitch mods, if you're here. You didn't hear that. But welcome on in. This is what, week 5? Week 4?
It's
Of
the
the
start of a
podcast?
new era, though. We'll call it.
It's the start of a new era. We're soft reboot.
We skipped last week.
Those were all
We
pilot
did?
episodes. Those first
Technically
ones.
week 4.
This is
Technically
this
week
is
4.
season 1, episode 1.
Season 1, episode 1. We
That was
had 4
preseason.
pilot episodes, preseason episodes, prequel episodes.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about prequel episodes.
Yeah, 2 of which
Um,
are not on record.
Who doesn't love the prequels?
Oh
Dude,
yeah, that's
you had
right. So
exclusive
we could totally
content.
lie.
You had to
We
be
could
here to
totally
see
lie
it.
about how much we've done so far.
Hey, there's
True.
nothing
Nobody
wrong
would-
with humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you, Chef Boyar C, for the follow.
Booyah.
Let's go.
Staring at
Chef
the man in
Boyardee.
the upper left corner. He's there for a reason. People come. They don't come for us. They come for the guy in the corner. That's
Mhm.
okay.
He
You don't
looks
have to
better
tell
than
him.
us, that's for sure.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
he's got more muscle. Eventually, we'll find him. We'll get him on the show.
That-
This is
I-
this is my promise to you
We'll
that
get-
we'll get him on this show.
oh, that would be so. I love that so much. Anyways, we're gonna start off while people are walking in with our first segment: soup, salad, or sandwich.
What are we talking about? The burrito bowl.
Yes. So the segment of the week. This is soup, salad, or sandwich. This is a theory of Javi, the guy in the bottom left. He created this, and he didn't create it, but he
I stole it.
stole it and
brought it to our
I stole it.
attention.
the idea is that every single food in the world can be categorized
human
down
existence.
to in human existence, and it doesn't even necessarily
No.
have to be
In
food.
existence.
Anything in existence can be simplified into 3 things: soup, salad, or sandwich. And on our second preseason podcast, we voted that a 4th category, pie, would be added. So soup, salad, sandwich, or pie is this segment. And this week we'll be discussing whether or not a burrito bowl
bowl.
/ yum bowl can be is considered a soup, a salad, or a sandwich. Some of these are easy, some of these are really difficult. Last week we spent like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was the ocean. Last week we were talking about the ocean.
Ocean was a
It took a
great,
while.
2 weeks ago, we were
mighty
talking about
fine
the ocean.
debate. That was.
Yeah.
A hot dog is now a sandwich. Steak. I'm keto, no pie. Okay, let's quickly discuss this, and then we can
quickly.
go.
Very, very quick, and then we'll start with the rest of the show. All right. So I think very easy salad. I'm just gonna go with
Because
I want to. No, I'm kidding. I mean, like it's like a collection of things that make up a normal salad. The thing is, there's just one big piece. Like imagine like you had a salad and then you just had like little tortilla bits in there. That's still a salad. All right. Imagine if one of those little tortilla bits was really big. That's a burrito bowl. That's my argument for
when
what's
you
a
think
salad.
burrito bowl, do you think there's a tortilla wrapping around the contents?
No, it's like
Okay.
it's a bowl.
Yeah, I'm thinking Chipotle.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sam, what do you think? Salad?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with salad here. And a big part of this is the majority of the items in a yum bowl are uncooked. Online with most salads, right?
Okay.
There's like some cooked meats, right? And we've all had chicken Caesar salads. That's a thing. But like the avocados, the olives, the cheese, it's all uncooked. It's just fresh.
Yep.
Tricycle _3 brings in the idea: why not dry soup?
Well, soups are cooked. They're always like cold soup. The items have already been cooked into a hot soup and then it's cooled down. So like soup consists of like things that have been like kind of brewed in a broth.
Tricycle, 2 weeks ago when we discussed whether or not the ocean was a soup, salad, or sandwich, we had to go down to the definition of what a soup was, and we looked it up and we realized that it was in fact like items cooking in a broth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I forgot about that. So I would have to agree that a burrito bowl and yum bowl are a sandwich. I was gonna say soup because of the liquid contents that's usually inside a yum bowl and burrito bowl, like the yum sauce, sour cream, salsa. I mean, if you're crazy enough, that could like outweigh the others, but maybe not.
All right, now Tricycle. Save that one for next week.
Yeah, this,
Cereal.
We will discuss cereal next week.
yes, that's
That will come
prime.
later.
And McDobo, you can have keto-friendly pies. I went keto for a while, and it's difficult, and it tastes like crap, but it's possible.
It is. It is.
Steak.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna answer this really quickly. Is a salad.
Fair.
That one's easy.
Okay, so moving on to a very quick discussion about what have you guys found interesting this week? We are calling
get
this
the graphic
segment the
up.
Media of the Week.
Media of the week, baby.
What things have you guys found this week that you want to share with the podcast that you want other people to at least look into? They don't have to do it, but they should, it puts it on their radar.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Oh, they're already on screen. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just talk about it. So if right
Above you.
there,
Above you.
yeah.
Yes.
The first thing I'd like to talk about is probably just the music. So I've been listening to this artist LP, which up until just recently I found out was a female or identified. But
Okay.
Yeah.
because her voice range, if you listen to her music, is like incredible. I think it covers like 4 or 6 octaves, but
What
her
genre?
music's
Oh,
got
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
What?
what genre is this?
It's that. Yeah, so her music covers a sort of like I guess I would say like a punk rock alternative vibe.
Ooh. Okay.
Except less
Okay.
punk rhythmically inspired and more swing inspired as far as rhythmic inspiration goes.
This sounds up my alley.
Okay. That was good.
But
Okay.
for those of you watching, we will be making a Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube music playlist for all the music that we discuss every week, in case you guys are ever curious about listening to it. So
Eventually, we'll also have the same for TV recommendations, game recommendations, everything else. We'll have all of these Media of the Week recommendations compiled into a list somewhere, and we'll publicize it on our page.
Yeah. But yeah, so LP as an artist in general, I'll find some songs for the playlist later. But I found her just recently. I've never heard of her before. Izzy has, and her style is so incredibly unique. Anyways, next to that,
Wonderful.
the game Dawn of War. It's a really old game. I just want more people to play it.
Oh.
It's a fun real-time strategy game. It's probably my favorite RTS. RTS is like Age of
Okay.
Empires, StarCraft. You've probably heard of those two.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Warcraft,
it's lots of fun.
That's a big RTS. But...
Warcraft as well. Yeah, I play it once every 2 weeks on Friday on a stream. And then the anime is Horiyama, which is this season, winter season anime that came out. It's a romantic slice of life genre, which isn't exactly up the alley of everybody in our friend group, but it's probably like the most heartwarming anime I've ever seen in my life.
For sure.
So I would recommend it.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
All right, Sam, you want to go next?
Sure. So I didn't follow the game music anime route. I went with like a movie, a game, and a song. And so the movie I chose that I think people should watch is The Thin Red Line, and it's a 90s World War II movie. And it's about like these soldiers who kind of ditch in the Pacific and they go live with the islanders peacefully. Then they're brought back for like the taking of Guadalcanal, and it like kind of goes from there. And it's more of an exploration of like how different types of people react and what they do in life or death situations. And it goes a lot deeper than warfare itself. And I think it's a really good movie, and it's well worth your time. Fucking solid. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. At the low end, 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good movie. The game, has quickly become one of my favorites. Dark Souls 3, so good, man. Like, it's my first Souls game ever. And like the first time I played through it, I didn't beat it. I got like 2/3 of the way through the game, and then my hard drive corrupted, and I lost everything.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that's right. You told me about this.
I lost it all, and I did not play that game for the next 3 years of my life. I said
be able to recover.
no. I was so mad because I didn't know how to play it. I sucked at it. It's really hard. But then a couple months ago, I got back into it again with a fresh new mindset, and the help of Javi here too. I beat the game in like a couple of months. Like, it didn't take very long, or that's kind of a long time, but like not for me. When it comes to Dark Souls, and I realized this is the main argument for why you should play this game. Getting decent at Dark Souls makes you better at pretty much every other game you play. It's
So McDouble says,
That's
I quit Dark
a
Souls
stretch,
3.
but let's go. Let's go.
McDouble says, I quit Dark Souls 3 after the first boss.
It's
Good
difficult.
on you.
it's
You know.
Idex
good.
Gundyr is no laughing matter.
Yeah.
He's a real son of a bitch, to be honest.
Super.
But it's worth it.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
And then so
Absolutely.
the song is the song Kingston by Faye Webster, but not on Apple Music or Spotify. You need to go to YouTube and look up the slowed version. It's just better. It just is. I'm not even going to take a whole spiel to explain it. It just is better. Trust me, listen to it.
He's been on a whole slowed and reverbed kink. And
Yeah,
Kink is
we'll
an
get a
interesting
segment,
word.
Like one of the kink is applicable though. There will be a segment, one of these shows, where we just have Sam talk about slowed and reverb songs. I promise.
Listen,
Anyways,
it'll come, but like, I don't want to pressure anyone. I don't want to make it seem like it's this big old thing you got to get into. Just look up this song, slowed and reverb. Some songs benefit greatly from this. This is one of the better ones. Trust me. And so that's it for my media of the week.
I had two
Okay.
questions.
Sure.
Actually, one question for the chat.
Yeah.
I was just curious if anybody else has ever had like a several like an investment of time on a project, a game, that they just lost. Like I, for example, had a senior project in high school where I put I think 80 hours into a project and the hard drive corrupted and I lost it. That type of stuff is disheartening, man. Coming back from that is tough.
It was not easy. Took a lot of
No, I
time
can
to
imagine.
recover.
I'm glad you did though. I'm glad
Yeah.
you did.
Tricycle says Cooking Mama 2 also worth it to improve your gaming skills overall.
Absolutely.
Haven't
played
tried.
that?
I can't attest to that.
Absolutely.
I'm suspicious of that though. I will say
I've never heard of it.
I'm not quick to believe it, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I think you are wrong here, but it's okay.
Oh, shit.
And then
All
Bex
right.
Bane, some songs have a completely different
Vibe when altered.
vibe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's all I'm gonna say on it.
All right. So for my media of the week, this has been a concept that has been stuck in my mind all week. The game Guilty Gear Strive is a fighting game that may just be one of the prettiest games I've ever looked at in my entire life. If you haven't heard of the Guilty Gear series, I'm not surprised. It is kind of niche. But this newest installation in the Guilty Gear series, Guilty Gear Strive, is coming out in April, actually. It just had an open beta, so there's a lot of content on the game out. If you haven't even gotten the chance to look at it yet, you definitely should. Even if you have any appreciation for animation, look at the game and you'll realize that this is a very pretty game. You don't even have to play it. Just looking at it is great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For my album recommendation, I have a whole album to recommend actually, instead of just a song. The album, and I'm probably butchering these names, and I apologize. These are Japanese names, and I do not know how to pronounce these things. But Magone by Taeko Nuki is a I think it came out in '78. It's this Japanese jazz record. And if you've got any like background in like old 90s anime, like Cowboy Bebop shit, like all of the
Trigun.
music, Trigun. Well, Trigun less so because it's like more Western themed.
True.
Cowboy Bebop especially, like some of the jazz notes, like the jazz songs they play in the background, you'll get that vibe instantaneously when you pick up this album. It is a very, very clean, very, very pretty sounding album. I recommend it to anybody. There are some bangers on that. Absolutely, and for being that old, it still feels very fresh. And finally, the anime recommendation that I have is actually two parts. Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe is a spin-off of the original JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime. So if you haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I highly recommend it. It's also incredibly pretty animation-wise, but also it's really goofy. And if you like goofy anime, and if you like having just fun on screen, like it's not super serious the whole time, it's a great anime to get into. Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe just recently came out on Netflix, and it is a OVA like standalone thing featuring one of the characters in one of the seasons in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Just curious, what season?
It's season. It's part 4. It's
Okay.
following Rohan from part 4.
Cool.
So yeah. Samurai Champloo. Whoever. Yeah. New Jabes. It's got a very New Jabes feel.
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh. New Jabes is so good. Yes. I've been listening to a bunch of his stuff, slowed and reverbed. Oh, fucking incredible, man. So good.
Beautiful.
McDouble is a Strive fan. McDouble, we planned once Strive comes out physically, we plan on having a little tournament, but we also probably play pretty regularly every week. I assume we'll probably have like a night for it.
Yeah, we'll have
I'll be playing every day.
But Friday night fisticuffs or something like that.
But yeah, so look forward to that if you want to play with us. Also, Vexbane talked about a Skyrim save file lost. I remember when this happened. He had hundreds of hours into the save file.
Oh my god!
Like
hundreds. That hurts.
And unfortunate.
And that is just deleted.
Oh, that is painful.
Yeah,
that's absolutely terrible.
Unfortunate. Truly is.
Goodness.
Cool. All right. So that just about covers it for the media of the week. We'll have these on screen. If anybody joins late, they can just check them out, and hopefully that they get a kick out of it, just like we did. But with that, I think we're good to move on to what we're going to be talking about this episode.
Yes.
Okay.
The every week we've covered a theme, kind of successfully or unsuccessfully. It's up to you. But this week's theme is going to be Star Wars. This podcast really is just about us talking about things that we love with you guys and with each other. So Star Wars is this week, and a good segue from anime, I think, is talking about Star Wars Visions. But first of all, really quickly, I wanted to briefly go over all the new projects that, or at least the ones that we're most interested that Star Wars is bringing up in the next few years. So, I'm really interested in Visions, which is, if nobody knows, Star Wars Visions is coming out this year, and it's going to be a 10-episode sequence of Japanese studios. Each episode is going to be covered by a different Japanese anime studio, and they'll be making their version of a Star Wars story, which I'm ecstatic for.
We have the official concept art on a slide here real quick. They've released one concept art shot for it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get that up. It'll come. Anyways, continue, Morgan.
Other shows I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them, but in particular would probably be Acolyte and the Kenobi show. For me specifically. How about you guys? Also, Tricycle says Star Trek is better. Let's fight about it.
That's just
Star Trek is really good.
It's good.
There's no denying it.
It's very good.
I think it fits a different niche, and I think this is one of the main things. Like, this argument comes up all the time, literally all the time. I don't think Star Wars is a sci-fi show, or sorry, sci-fi like series. I think it is more in tune with a fantasy genre than it is like a sci-fi. So I consider Star Trek one of the best sci-fi shows and series I've ever seen. I consider Star Wars like a blend of the two, and it's probably one of my favorites fantasy.
It's a good way to put it.
I've always played Star Wars in space western, so it's a western with a space skin.
Yeah, Western fantasy space. Well, the thing is, it changes in between each iteration.
Depending
Like
on
the original trilogy was way more fantasy than it was sci-fi, and then the Mandalorian comes around and it's way more Western than it is fantasy.
Yeah.
So
it's
I
definitely
think
a hybrid.
every iteration is a hybrid of sci-fi and then something else.
Yeah.
So Star Trek is like condensed everything that's cool about sci-fi. So
Moral of the
that's my take on
story:
it.
there's room for love for both, Tricycle, and you should know that.
Get him.
Anyway, Sam, which one were you most interested in? Well, actually, do we want to finish talking about Visions first?
We can talk more a little bit about it. I just want to hear what shows you guys are into or looking forward to.
Well, Visions, for sure. Acolyte is up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cassian Andor show has a lot of potential. I think more excited for it than most people are. There's not a lot of hype out there for it. Like, there's a lot of info,
I like it.
but I think like it's not as mainstream as some of the others, like Kenobi and Ahsoka and whatnot. Which I'm excited for those ones too. So like, yeah, I don't know. My main one I think is probably Andor. Besides Visions.
We don't have an issue. We have a lot of fan service coming up, but Javi?
And the one I'm most interested in is Acolyte, and that one's the most elusive out of the bunch.
Is there a release date or year for it?
No, I don't think there's anything outside
2022 at the earliest.
At the earliest,
and that could mean anything. So
yeah, that's tough. I know this year releasing Bad Batch Boys, Vision, and I believe the Boba Fett show. The book of Boba
that's
Fett.
at the end.
Yeah.
Like it's starting in December.
Yeah, it'll be in replace of the normal Mandalorian time, and Mandalorian season 3 comes out next year, I think. But we'll see what they do without the girl. I forget her name.
Oh,
the girl that
Gina Carano.
Let go. Yeah.
We'll find out eventually. I'm certain they'll handle it in a professional way.
She won't be missed. Anyways, so Visions. I tried looking up some information on it.
Sure.
Mostly, I just wanted to speculate what we might be looking into as far as different anime segments by trying to find the anime studios they have hired for this project, because it's supposed to come out this year, at least the first few episodes.
Yep.
And we have nothing
confirmed for 2021.
Exactly. So I'll read this little description off of Wikipedia. Presenting all new creative takes on the galaxy far, far away Star Wars, Visions will be a series of animated short films, so longer than episodes, thank the Lord, celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best anime creators. So I'm assuming that just means like first-party studios. I'm guessing they're not going to look to small independent animation studios. I'm thinking they're going to talk to the big ones, which helps sort of focus my next question. But and the anthology collecting will bring 10 episodes, 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios, offering a fresh and diverse culture perspective to Star Wars. So my first question, Sam, you had a question really quick. Go ahead.
You want me to ask about the studios, the one that I had about that? So, well, yeah, I mean, we don't know which ones are going to be working on them, which is kind of scary because it's up so soon. But we can at least speculate. And so my question is, which studios would you like to see working on Visions? Give like a top 3, but it doesn't have to be any specific order.
Okay. Do you have any?
I do. I went through a list and looked through, and so I think Madhouse would be pretty cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Big.
What's some things that Madhouse has worked on?
Death Note. That's the big one that everyone probably knows. I have this on the slide somewhere, but it's okay. The next one I have, Wit Studio, Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Imagine. Just imagine, like.
That was the old Attack on Titan studio, right? Because
they did just as good.
4.
Yeah, it was the old one. I just like, more than just trying to, jump on the bandwagon for that studio because of AOT. It's like their animation, I think, would go really well with Star Wars. I think they could create some insanely cool action sequences. And so I would look forward to seeing that from them. And then this, I might look like a fool, but I don't know. I said Studio Ghibli for my third.
That's mine.
Okay. So
It's
like,
okay if we cross over. It's fine.
just like, it doesn't even, I don't even imagine like a violent, like, type of episode from them. It would be some extremely poetic, just beautifully shot and set piece, and it would be perfect. It would be perfect for Star Wars. Like I'm having trouble like formulating this thought into words. Like it would add just like this nice layer of poetry that is kind of consistent throughout Star Wars. There's always like a deeper theme, and I think Studio Ghibli would be able to like do that and like make it even more expansive and applicable, and I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Also, what did Vexbane say at the end of the chat? I think I have.
They'll kill her off. I think they're talking about Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll probably kill her off. Going off of I'll go next since Studio Ghibli is in my top 3. I think you are extremely correct. Studio Ghibli, if nobody knows, they've done movies like iconic movies like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo, Nausicaa. I've seen almost all of the Studio Ghibli movies, but I think honestly there's a lot of potential for them to do the High Republic, because the High Republic era is the most peaceful Star Wars era that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, they could really do like, because from what I've read from the High Republic books, it's a lot of like the Jedi being actually what the Jedi were meant to be, not these political figures, but just justice, defender, protectors of the universe sort of thing.
Yeah.
And coming in and like really solving interplanetary issues and not just creating war. Like the books do a great job of portraying them as force users and lightsaber defenders and super powerful, but only when it's extremely necessary. There's no Anakins, you know.
Vexbane says that a youngling story would be interesting with Studio Ghibli.
That would be so cool.
That would
dude.
be.
Especially in the High Republic era when the younglings don't have the threat of
Anakin.
Because you can actually get attached to them. Because the younglings I got attached to in the Clone Wars series, I realized were probably dead.
Rough.
The second studio I had was, where was it? Kodansha, which did Vinland Saga. Has anybody seen that?
I have.
So
it was pretty good.
Vinland Saga is a recent Viking era anime. And they did a great job of portraying like the culture, although they obviously hyperbolized it with Viking stuff. But it's one of my all-time favorite anime ever. It's incredible, and I think if they could do like a dark side perspective anime short film, and it would be beautiful. And the other studio is UFO Table, which did Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
They also did I think Fire Force, Black Clover, One Punch Man, Promise Neverland, and Dr. Stone. All huge animes. And the animation in all of them is incredible. The way they portray emotions on the face, I'd love to see that sort of like pain in Star Wars. That sounded dark, but yeah.
No, but it makes sense. Yeah. All of them are good studios, and I think they'd have to pay the most to get Studio Ghibli on. But Star Wars has the money. Star Wars has the money.
But they would get 100%. I think they would get an Oscar if they gave Ghibli that power.
I mean, Ghibli just
not Oscar. Oh my gosh. What's the
Emmys or
no
whatever.
Grammy? No.
Grammy?
No.
Is it Oscar? Is it Oscar?
You guys know. You guys know.
Emmy is the TV one. Emmy's TV. Oscar is movies. Grammy is music.
First season, One Punch Man.
And an Emmy. Yep.
Really quick, before we go on, Javi, what lightsaber color would you want?
Red.
Red?
Without a doubt, red.
Okay.
So you want to be a Sith?
Yeah.
Morgan?
Blue, but like
Blue.
the ice blue. That
Looks like you're
I
outnumbered
think
here,
would be on
buddy.
it. Wait,
like you're fucked.
Sam, you said red?
No, I didn't say anything yet.
Oh,
What'd
did
you
you
say?
not say? Oh, I thought you
No.
said red.
No.
Don't jump to conclusions.
Would not be red.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. What did you say?
That's a really good question, and I think I would go with like a purple or pink lightsaber. I think it'd be fucking sick.
That's what Revan has. Revan has
Yeah,
a
he does.
a purplish pink, I think.
He's got
Like
he's
a
got one purple, one
magenta
red.
lightsaber,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just too cool.
also like twice the size of a normal lightsaber. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I know I'm into anime and music, but acting
Acting.
and music, but I'm not into like. It's Oscar. It doesn't matter.
Oscar
Okay,
is
Javi, go ahead.
movies.
You're right. It could be Emmy, but
Anyways,
think it's Emmy.
I think so the three studios that I would want in. I think the first one would be Studio Trigger, and they're the minds behind. They're the ex minds behind Neon Genesis Evangelion. What happened was that they were Studio Gainax back in the day, and then they like dissolved, and then they became Studio Trigger. A bunch of the guys that worked on Evangelion in the day. Then they ended up working on Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, and then Darling in the Franxx. And then there's
Gurren
one
and
more that came
Darling.
out. Yeah, I think I would love to see their like very zany animation style participate in a Star Wars show. It could be it could be about something pretty mundane. It doesn't have to be about Jedi's. Like Starfighter combat. I think that would be amazing to see in a Studio Trigger animation. They do very expressive reaction shots, and seeing that in a space battle would be very, very fun. That's my first one. I think my second one is also Ufotable or however you pronounce it, because they do amazing work, and they maintain a serious attitude throughout the whole time. Like unlike Studio Trigger, where they take a very zany approach to their concepts, Ufotable just provides quality work without being too far in any extreme.
And the fight scenes.
And the fight scenes are amazing. And then the last scene that the last studio that I would like in Star Wars Vision is the studio behind Violet Evergarden, Kyoto Animation. And I think very specifically, I want something that's not combat related. I want a Star Wars set, like not slice of life. It could be romance. It could be something that doesn't involve like a high stakes game, because I think that's what Kyoto Animation does best.
Violet Evergarden made me cry, man.
It was a good action. Anyways, that's where I'm sitting at for Star Wars Visions studios. I think that all of the ones we brought up were great options. And there's 10 episodes. It could be all of them, could be none of them. But we'll see.
10 different studios. There's a lot of variety. I hope we get a lot of variety in genre as well. But like speaking of genre, if like taking a look at the concept art, you can see this is the only concept art we have gotten on for Visions, and if you can, I mean, it looks kind of like a samurai and a student, in at least from what I see.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that there's going to be a lot of Asian culture influence in the Visions anime. Maybe not every episode, but I'm guessing there's going to be a good chunk. So I wanted to know what you guys thought of that, and like what you would like to see from that sort of thing. So like the idea of samurai Jedi, or ninja Sith, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Cool. I think that just about covers it. Up until we got more information about this show, it might be that they release the full studio list sometime closer to the release.
I have some more questions. I have some more things.
Yeah.
Okay, continue that.
And
keep going.
And I also want to comment on what you said about like an influence of Japanese culture onto Star Wars. I feel like in a way the Jedi kind of draw on samurai a little bit, like definitely. And that they try to be, on, or well, I guess maybe this is mean, this is like propaganda. I don't know if like much about the code of like Bushido and stuff, and if it's like legit thing. I saw something saying that it was actually just kind of played up. It wasn't like the stories say, but I don't know. But anyways, I see the Jedi filling the roles as those characters, and a blend of the two would not be unfamiliar. I think it would be a good expansion on what Star Wars already has.
Extremely honor focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure George Lucas is even on record saying that a lot of the original trilogy was based off of Japanese.
I know it was
like
based
samurai
off of
movies.
Japanese combat, a good chunk, or samurai combat, or kendo.
There was
kendo.
There was a like Mace or Samuel L. Jackson actually like practices kendo, and so he came in already knowing how to sword fight and was like, this is what my style is gonna be like, this and that, for Revenge of the Sith.
I love that, dude. That's so cool.
That's pretty sick. And Hayden Christensen also knew how to sword fight and like came with his own style and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Fun fact about
cool.
Hayden: anytime Anakin is featured on a game, he volunteers to go on and teach him the choreography that would be Anakin.
Really?
So
That's
he'll
cool.
like the last Clone Wars game that happened,
Yep.
like the animation studio. He came on, and there's like this awesome clip of like people fight. He had someone like try to fight him, and as Anakin as a character, he nonchalantly like head dodged,
Yeah.
because Anakin's supposed to be super cocky, so that would be like his style. I just love that so much in him, dude.
Hell
I can't not wait for him to be on Kenobi.
Oof. Oh my goodness.
But it would be
I forgot
really
about
cool
that.
to also see him on Cassian Andor,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a little difficult considering how it's low scale, it seems, on Cassian Andor comparatively. But it would be interesting.
Yeah, but we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
And so so I did have a question though for Visions. And for you guys, what eras of Star Wars would you like to see rehashed and incorporated into Visions?
The Old Republic. I think the Old Republic in
Is it canon
old
still?
canon.
Old canon.
No, it's not. Well, it's canon that it happened, but all of the content that was placed in the Old Republic is no longer canon.
It's being
So,
pulled
like,
from though. Like Revan and Bane are both canon now.
Yeah. So like things
That would
like
be
in that
cool.
area, like before it was when there was the most Jedi and the most Sith in the universe ever. So like it was like comparatively, it'd be like feudal Japan, where there was the most fighting going on at a moment.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh,
that would work
shit.
so well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I would personally love to see both the High Republic, but now that I think about it more, the Vader era. So between 3 and 4, during Vader's prime, when he was hunting down Jedi, because I used to watch this old samurai anime. I don't remember the name, but it was this concept of a traveling samurai going from town to town and challenging like the head samurais, and it would just be these beautiful like landscapes of the samurai facing each other and doing like their battles, but usually really quick because combat is normally really quick.
Yep.
Seeing that with Vader and Jedi that he's hunting down,
It'd be amazing.
I would love it.
Be awesome.
Anyways, Sam, do you want to give yours real quick, and then we've got a question in the chat.
Sure. Yeah. So I want an Order 66 centered episode following a Jedi that we didn't really get to see the demise of, and how that studio, whoever gets it, if one gets it, decides to create that story. What they're gonna do with it. I think that'd be
falling
really
in love
awesome.
with the character and seeing their death.
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Anyways, Tricycle, you are asking where to start for the Star Wars series, and I think everyone there's a possibility that everyone in this call gives a different answer.
Yeah.
Or the same exact answer. We'll see.
Or the same exact thing. I recommend starting with the original trilogy.
Sam?
I think, kind of off guard, because original trilogy is a good route. but I think starting at Phantom Menace would be pretty cool. Start to finish, you know.
That could be. Morgan, what you got for us?
I am starting Luke on Star Wars for the first time, and I started him with the original trilogy, Episode 4. I started Albert on Star Wars for the first time as well, and I started him with Phantom Menace. And I did it for different reasons. So you can base this off of that tricycle. Albert is more into like action, choreography, epic battles, that sort of stuff. So I wanted him to start on Phantom Menace. You guys know why, but
Of course.
to play to that sort of like fan service so that he can try to like get integrated and hooked. And now he's on the Clone Wars anime, which tries, I mean, it's a cartoon, but anime,
cartoon.
it's awesome and it's 100% worth it. Luke, however, really loves artsy, more poetic, slower films that he can like kind of focus on the plot, which is that's why I started him on the original trilogy, because in my opinion, the original trilogy as a trilogy is more poetic than the prequels. Except of how beautiful Revenge of the Sith ended the prequel trilogy. I don't know.
We commented on this at the beginning of the podcast that each Star Wars iteration, like every new installment in the Star Wars series, is a different genre than everyone than every one of the others. The original trilogy, I commented earlier, is a fantasy. The prequels are way more sci-fi than the rest of them, and they're especially like war dramas almost.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good.
Rogue One too.
Rogue
It's a
One,
straight up war movie.
I'd say Han Solo is more like a Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
The TV shows can be something different. Something.
It's a series with a lot of versatility. So if you feel yourself into more aesthetic, artsy, more, I guess, nuanced. And I wouldn't even say more nuanced. I would just say like artsy, emotional drama. Then the original trilogy is the way to go. But if you find yourself interested in big space battles, you know, the most recent is a solid garbage genre.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
Which I'm expecting not to happen with the Japanese studios. If they're given the A-OK to do what they want, it'll be genres that are unique.
If it's not controlled by Kathleen Kennedy, it should be fine. Be fine.
So yeah, I think that just about covers it. If you think you're into the more emotional drama of, if you think you'll be interested in the emotional drama of Star Wars, then watch the original trilogy. If you think you'll be interested in the big, shiny space battles with big glowing lightsabers, then watch the prequels first. And there's no bad way to start it unless you start with the sequels. That's bad. That's bad.
Only watch the sequels once, in my opinion, just for the fact of watching them. But you have so much before the sequels to watch that you won't get to them for some time. It's fine. And by then, the plot holes will be filled in. I hope.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Fan service. No, not that type of fan service.
No, yes, that type of fan service. Absolutely.
It's like
no, it's not. It's not.
No, it is.
Yeah, no, it's not. It kind of is.
It's not. It's not.
It's not.
But maybe.
Well, according to Albert, it is. If you, because he loves Ahsoka and he loves the Twi'leks. So.
Oh my.
All right, moving on.
Okay. Well, we have more shows to discuss. I mean, Visions isn't the only thing coming out that's exciting.
No, it's not.
And to be honest, you guys, we've got 10 minutes left, and these next two shows were supposed to take 10 minutes apiece. Let's choose one of them to talk about.
I think I'm more interested in talking about Andor. Because there's so little information about Acolyte.
That's very fair.
For those who don't know, Acolyte, which is the one that I was supposed to be talking about, it doesn't actually have that much out.
Not like hardly
so
anything.
far they've released the concept, and it's going to be a mystery thriller more focused on the dark side, the eviler side of Star Wars, during the time of the High Republic, which is right before, or like several hundred,
200,
several
200
thousand,
years before
200,
the
yeah,
prequels.
before the prequels. So it's going to be maybe a little bit more gritty of a show, maybe a darker show, talking about things that we aren't used to seeing in the Star Wars universe. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, there's no information about it so far, so we can't really do that much speculation outside of like, oh, I wish I could see this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's talk about Andor then.
Yeah, let's talk about Andor.
Really quick, Vexbane makes a great point. Mandalorian is technically part of the sequels, and Mandalorian is incredible. You could watch that alone
Mandalorian's great.
without seeing any of Star Wars, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, actually true.
Yeah.
Very true. But Andor. So I am very excited for this show. And there's like one particular. Both of my questions are centered around an idea that I think would be really cool in the show. So I'll start with: do you guys think? And I saw this online too, and it kind of just got me thinking for most of the day. Do you guys think that Andor hates the Jedi?
I think he does.
I think he does. Do you?
I think it's really easy to hate the Jedi if you're not like involved.
It depends. I don't know his backstory too well, but I would say it depends on how he was educated, because the Empire taught everybody they hate the Jedi for betraying the Republic. And those who are old enough to remember the Jedi don't think that, but Jedi quickly became a myth. I mean, Han Solo didn't believe in them altogether, so
yeah.
I think if he was taught by the Empire, he would probably think the Jedi are cowards or something like that.
Okay. So very interesting that you brought up his backstory, because I did a bit of reading on his backstory. And so he was a kid, like a middle-aged, like he was a child soldier in the Clone Wars, but he was in an insurrectionist cell that was backed by the Separatists and the Confederacy. And so he fought like in the Outer Rim territories against clone armies led by Jedi.
That he probably does. He definitely probably does.
Super cool.
He used like his first ever combat was him like with his group throwing like rocks and bottles at ATTE walkers as they like walked by in his like village.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And so I kind of use this question just to set up that whole talking point, because it's so interesting that he's like he was, you know, the traditional bad guy on the wrong side of history. Now he's on the right side, but he's still kind of like this shady character that like isn't afraid of doing what he has to do to get things done, like we saw in Rogue One. I think that he's like a slightly more toned down version of Saul Guerrero.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. There's a good chance that he hates Jedi, and I think that'd be an interesting dynamic. Anyways, what were we gonna say, Martin?
I think he does.
Well, listening to that now, I think he doesn't. A lot of the greatest rebel leaders were all originally separatists. Because after the Empire took over, because the Empire was technically the Republic.
Right.
So it shifted. Republic turned into the Empire. The separatists were liquefied.
Right.
Or basically, either they joined the Empire or they were, destroyed, which created the rebels. So the rebels are separatists originally, including with like Senator Organa, for example, who was an undercover rebel.
Right.
And from what we've seen from most of the rebels, they revert to the Jedi as the heroes. They most of the time they're looking to try to find Obi-Wan, looking to try to find Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Kanan, Jarrus, they look to the Jedi as heroes. So I think if he was at all influenced later in life by the rebels, he would view Jedi as heroes.
Interesting. I guess we'll have to find out. Like, there's a lot of character speculation.
It's a good argument.
Do in any Star Wars show. And until we have the product in our hands, we could talk for days about this. I'm certain we could all have conversations about Star Wars for days.
Yeah,
we're all
big time.
I had a question. It was originally for the Acolyte one, but I think it's still applicable for the Cassian Andor show. What aspect of Star Wars, it could be like a species or it could be a planet, would you like to see in the limelight a little bit more? because there's a lot of things that are either shoved to the side in Star Wars because they need to fill background, and that's not bad. Like having like things that you don't understand, like aliens, races that you don't know what they are in the background, that's totally cool. It really feels the universe feel alive.
So
It makes the universe feel alive. What would you rather? What would you like to see expanded on a little bit more in Cassian Andor?
okay, can I answer this?
Yes.
I want to see Kit Fisto's species, the
No!
Nautilans.
How many times has this happened today? How many times?
Go ahead.
We don't hardly know anything about these people, yet they produced one of the coolest Jedis. We the people need to know more. It's only fair. That's hands down. I want to know more about the Nautilans. That's my answer.
Sick answer. Sick as fuck. Morgan?
Javi, you say yours.
Okay, mine. Oh, okay, let me see. I think I really there was a couple of episodes in the Clone Wars where they talk about like the separatist holdouts and like separatist life.
Mhm.
I think under the same thing that we were talking about, like I want to see what the remnants of the separatists turned out to be. And it could be like the Trade Federation shit, like what happened to them. It could be like what's the Newt Gunray? What's he?
They're Nemodians.
Nemoidians. It could be what the Nemoidians are up to.
Yeah.
Posting like things that were very involved in the Clone Wars. I want to see what they're up to.
I have two answers to this, but now I realize because this is the Andor, so the second answer won't really work. I wanted to see what the Sith, the actual Sith, not
Oh, yeah.
the Sith before the Sith became the Sith.
Right.
And
So
but really,
Sith is a species.
do
Yeah,
you
Sith
guys
is-
know
yeah.
the Jedi Coleman Traber?
No.
Huh?
Coleman Traber.
I know
Maybe
you
I
guys
do.
know the Jedi Coleman Trader. If you look up Coleman, Coleman, Trebor, it's the dinosaur Jedi that had like 3 seconds of screenplay before Jango Fett killed him in Attack of the
Yeah.
Clones.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay. Right. Yep. I do know this guy.
I want to
Hey,
know
Siri,
about
show me what's his name?
Coleman
okay.
Trebor.
He's from the
Hey Siri,
scene.
show me Coleman Tramer's balls, please.
No. Anyways, his species is Verk. Verlk.
Verlk.
I want to see more about dinosaur Jedi. That's my
Okay.
2 cents.
I like it. Speaking of
Yeah.
Jedi, I'm curious, which of the Jedi do you think he will run into? 'Cause he's probably gonna run into one. I feel like that's a safe bet. It's a Star Wars show.
Cal.
You think so? We have options: Cal, Ezra, Luke. Probably not though. Obviously not though. I mean, what if he does though? What if he ends up on Tatooine at some point?
Kid Luke is possible. Yeah.
It's possible, but probably not. So Cal, maybe even not Ezra. It could be Kanan at some point. It depends on how late in the rebellion he. Oh well, I guess before A New Hope. Anything before A New Hope.
He could easily beat Kanan and Ezra.
He could.
Oh, if that's how they introduced live action Kanan and Ezra, I would.
Right. Kanan and Ezra, Ahsoka. So it's. I guess we can kind of knock Cal off. I don't think he'll run into Cal.
That would be cool.
He's not really involved in the rebellion like
He's
Kanan and Ezra are.
Yeah, his story is more at the beginning of post Empire, like the Bad Batch Boys era.
Yeah.
We could see him there.
So that could be a thing. Maybe Ahsoka. But she's already in Mando, so we'll see. I don't know
they
if
have
they
to get
would
another actor.
be a younger Ahsoka.
She would have to be like 20 years younger.
Quinlan Vos.
But okay, but here's the one I wanted to bring up. What if he runs into Terran Malicos?
You talked about him, and I already forgot who he was.
So he's in Jedi Fallen Order.
That's right. Again, I haven't played this game yet. Yet being the optimal word.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and explain who he is, Sam.
So he's this former Jedi who lives on Dathomir, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives on Dathomir, and he's like become tainted by the dark side, and he's like this crazy old Sith dude who just lives in a cave, and you meet him, and there's not a whole lot else about him, and I would really like to know more about his character. He's very mysterious, very badass, really cool looking dude. And I feel like they shouldn't shy from like developing his character more. I think it'd be really cool if like what if he starts out hating the Jedi and he runs into this guy,
Yeah.
and it kind of helps push him back towards liking the Jedi instead, you know? What
That'd
if
be
that
interesting.
happens?
That'd be very interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Do we have a release date on Cassian Andor?
It's speculated, highly speculated, that it's going to be the spring or summer of 2022.
So wow.
Next year.
Oh wow.
It will be before Kenobi.
Okay.
A year and a half.
I will say, in order for that to be possible, Sam, Jedi Fallen Order, the video game, happened 14 BBY,
Okay.
which means before Battle of Yavin, which is the iconic timeline signifier in Star Wars. So it would have to happen then. So it'd be a 14-year-old younger Cassian, meaning they would have to get the actor that played Cassian because he's playing the
to
main
look
actor.
14 years younger.
Yeah,
So
at
probably
least.
not him though. Then.
Yeah.
Probably someone.
So it's almost only going to be Cal, or no, sorry, not Cal, Ezra or Kanan. I guess it could be Cal at that point though.
Could be.
It depends on
It could end up
what
being
Jedi
Cal.
Fallen Order 2 covers.
Did they already announce that?
The game was
Yes,
announced.
yes.
When it's coming out, no.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But Morgan,
Okay.
did you have questions about Andor?
I mean, you kind of covered it. What other characters do you guys want to see in the Andor universe? Because
I want. Ooh.
Finish
so
the
the
Rex.
the show
Captain Rex.
would, oh, that'd be so cool. I'm gonna comment on that really quick, but so basically, Sam mentioned this before. He's excited about Andor, despite what most people are, because not many people are too interested in the character of Andor, although I think he has a lot of potential. But the true potential in this show is their ability to show you the world of the rebels and the other characters involved in that like timeline that we
Bail
don't get to see
Organa.
much of.
Bail Organa would be really cool.
He's
Yeah.
I love him.
He's like universally we know him as a badass, but like we don't know much else, right?
All right, let's
Yeah.
see let's see this fun fact that Tricycle's got for us. A fun fact about I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce that, is that its horn is actually like a horn, like a trumpet. What the fuck? So maybe Jedi species can make an appearance as like a horn bearers before a war. That's what the Ithorians are. That's what the slug guys who got eyes on the fucking front. Look them up later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They've actually got like big
Ithorian.
like
You spell that?
windpipes that they can like blow huge
Right.
noises through.
Right. Yeah, no, that's true.
That would be a cool scene. That's already a thing though. In the old 2003 Clone Wars anime.
Right.
But that's
they
not
did that
canon,
bit.
so
That's not canon anymore.
Oh,
You have a good point.
so it could be possible.
It could be.
It's on YouTube, the whole thing. It's like 40 something minutes long, and it ends with like their take on the like ground siege of Coruscant and how they abducted Palpatine. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the death of
Shakti.
Shakti, yeah.
Yeah.
My question was, what characters do you guys want to see? I personally want to see already mentioned Ezra, Kanan, Cal, and a young Leia played by Carrie Fisher's daughter, and a young Boba Fett or Rex played by the actor that played Kid Boba Fett in the Attack of the Clones movie. Because if you look at a picture of him online now as an adult, shave his head, he looks like Boba.
Hell yeah. Okay,
So
that's cool.
that's what I would want to see.
That'd be really cool.
I think I'd like to see I forgot her name. It started with a Q or something like that. The romance from the Solo movie. And where she's at.
Oh yeah. That would be cool.
Right. Because when does the Solo movie take place?
20
Post-
BBY?
Before
No, that's right after Order 66. It's like near Jedi Fallen Order time, I think.
Yeah,
All right,
learning
so
her place
we're
in the syndicate would be interesting.
yeah. So we're just about closing up the
1381.
podcast for today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Why don't we go ahead and put the media of the week back on screen,
Sure.
so that people can take one quick look at it before we skedaddle here.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. Thank you for joining us so much. This was an incredible show. We nerded out for an hour, and we could do it for longer, without a doubt. But we've maintained it for an hour. Does anybody else have any closing remarks before we skedaddle on out of here?
Yeah, we plan on doing this just about every week, Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30. We'll be having guests on regularly. If you're interested in being a guest, please hit us up. Give us a follow if you like. If you want
Or
to
if
stay
you
up
don't
to date,
like.
or if you
Or
don't
if you don't
like.
like, give us a follow so you can hate on us in the chat and then
Exactly.
provide us more views.
Keep your
because that
friends
still
close,
helps
keep
us.
your enemies closer. It's simple.
We trash talking is acceptable as long as it's funny. Just saying. And if you
Price
guys
is really
have
good at
any, yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for topics that we can talk about on the show, go ahead and leave them in the chat or DM them to us on. I think there's an email for this, right? We have an email.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look on
Here, I
Yeah.
can get that.
By next week's stream, we'll have contact information a little bit more squared
Sure.
away.
Yeah.
we
McDouble.
also all stream regularly
Yep.
outside of this on Twitch. So we'll probably link that on our description for the bio of this podcast. But the whole point of this is just to have fun and talk. And we're part of a group called Young Hot Young Handsome Men. It's a bit of a joke, but it's a
No,
fun
that's
way
not a
to.
joke.
No, it's
We're
real.
all young. We're all young, hot, young, and handsome men. So
It's a fun way to come together and
Yeah.
do all these sorts of mini projects.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Also,
thank
do you guys want to
yeah.
end on the pun of the podcast?
No,
Absolutely
no,
not.
We're closing.
Nope, we're getting
Sam,
out of
get
here.
us
We're getting out of here.
Get us out of here, Sam.
No,
Stop.
hold on. I know
Ending
they
the
want to
stream
watch
in
it.
5.
So at the end,
4.
no, wait. So at the end of the podcast, every week, I have done a pun that's on theme, and
it kills about 50% of our viewers.
Yeah,
If you
we
want to
lose- we
keep
lose our
living,
viewers
leave
instantaneously.
now.
that's okay. That's because we always end the podcast. Correlation
His
does not mean
puns
equal
are like
causation.
Thanos snaps.
Correlation is
All right,
not equal
fast.
causation.
You've got 20 seconds. Get it out.
Give me a word.
Peace, love,
Love or peace.
prosperity for my new empire.
Freedom, justice, and security.
Sorry. Love. You've got love. You've got 20 seconds to think of a pun and another 20 seconds to execute it.
No, you said peace, prosperity, freedom to my new empire. So I'm thinking Anakin. So when he was killing the younglings, he was thinking of all of their parents, and every time he would slice one down, he would go, and a kin, like kin as in kid, and a kin,
Yeah,
and a kin.
I actually just died. That's the end of the stream.
No,
I
sorry,
understand
there's
if
not
you
gonna be another
unfollow.
week. We're
I
done.
understand if you never return. It's honestly the most warranted thing at this point. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will see you next week at
Have a good night.
7:30.
Bye-bye.
Bye.